How did Manchester City go from being part of the world's most successful clubs to struggling and losing consistently, potentially going trophyless this season? Hey, what's good guys, it's Omario, and today I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to dive into the disappointing season Manchester City has been having. But before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe and leave a like down below, and don't forget to turn on post notifications for more football content coming your way. Pep Guardiola has been a successful football manager who has achieved many great things across Europe with clubs including Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and currently Man City. Guardiola became the manager at City in 2016, and so far he has led them to 5 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cup titles, 4 EFL Cups, 1 Champions League, and many more. So we all know Manchester City has had arguably the most dominant run in European football for the past few years. But one wise man once said, all eras come to an end. Starting off with the most obvious reason, which is the absence of City's best player, Rodri, who just won the Ballon d'Or. Rodri tore his ACL in a match against Arsenal, which takes him out for the entire season. Anyone who was seeing doubts about Rodri winning the Ballon d'Or can now see his value he offered at City. Rodri is simply just irreplaceable. All the other midfielders at the club don't play the CDM role as well as Rodri, which messes up Guardiola's 4-3-3 with the center midfielder contributing to the defense as much as the offense. Rodri missed 3 games in the 23-24 season, and those were the only games Man City lost, which goes to show his significance to the squad even more. As we investigate further into Manchester City this season, we can also tell that their transfers have been incredibly mid. They had a player who matched Rodri's playing style, who was Calvin Phillips, but it just didn't work out. Calvin Phillips was a really good midfielder and he looked great, but there was a few discretions between him and Pep Guardiola, which resulted in Pep calling him overweight and Phillips being loaned out to West Ham and now Ipswich Town. He wasn't the only one. Nunez for 53 million euros was a panic buy that never worked out as well. They went for Nunez as a last resort because the player they really wanted to sign, who was Lucas Paqueta, who was currently under investigation for illegal betting. At the same time, Kevin De Bruyne was also injured. Nunez has been a player who hasn't proved anything at City, and for 53 million euros, it's concerning. He was good at Wolves and at Sporting under Ruben Amorim, but now at City, he is struggling to find his form. So it was basically just money that was burned for no reason. The next issue I would like to talk about would be Jack Grealish. Grealish is a player who Man City had bought from Aston Villa for a whopping 100 million euros, and he hasn't scored a single goal in 44 straight matches. If Manchester City would have developed their youth talent and integrated them into their squad, they would be doing a hell of a lot better. Cole Palmer, Romeo Lavia, Morgan Rogers, and even Frimpong were all Man City youth players who could have easily made a huge impact if City didn't get rid of them so early. All these players are now thriving under their new clubs. Phil Foden, who is Man City's star boy, has also been a downhill slope and has only produced 1 goal and 1 assist in his 12 appearances in the Premier League this season. But it's not just Phil Foden who has had a slump, of players like De Bruyne and Silva as well. Kyle Walker is making some sort of mistake every week, and Gundogan is just getting too old. Meanwhile, Haaland is ghosting in big games like usual. Man City has been playing so awful that Pep Guardiola, their manager, has literally begun to harm himself.
I want to harm myself.
So far, City has been on a large winless streak, and the momentum plays a big role when it comes to these type of matches. Apart from Rodri, Manchester City is going through a huge injury crisis, with all 3 of their center backs being injured, including Ruben Diaz, Akanji, and Nathan Ake, along with John Stones. There's also rumors of Kevin De Bruyne leaving next season to go to Saudi Arabia, which makes a lot of sense. He's aging and he's accomplished everything at City, so he doesn't really care anymore. This is common for players who are going to a club to retire. Things aren't really looking good for City, and I believe that they need to do a rebuild and bring in more youth talent. Man City is currently 7th in the Premier League and is on track for Pep Guardiola's worst finish in a league in his career. Man City lost to their rivals United 2-1 and have been inconsistent in the Premier League, tying and losing to smaller clubs like Bournemouth and Everton. City is also sitting at 22nd place in the Champions League, losing to Juventus, Sporting, and tying tied to Feyenoord with a 3-0 lead. And as Holland would like to say is, stay humble. Stay humble, eh? That's all that I got for you guys today, and if you guys stayed this long, don't forget to comment which type of content you would like me to do in the future and who you'd like me to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next football video. Why you love me still a mystery, me and the surgeon got history. I changed a lot of girls' lives for real, they need a new body, they hitting me.